I'd like you to interpret Stephen Jones's comments for me, Mike Florio. This was Stephen Jones over the weekend when he was asked about the pay Micah chants that were coming from the stands of the Cowboys faithful towards Jerry Jones in Oxnard. Here was Stephen Jones in that regard.
Did you hear the fans yelling "Pay Micah" yesterday? And what do you think when you hear that?
It doesn't change anything. I mean, we want to pay Micah too. He's got to want to be paid.
What does that mean, do you think, Mike?
Why will you not take our offer, our lowball offer that doesn't properly value your overall contributions to the team? Look, that's the problem. They're not offering him enough. Yeah, he has to want to be paid, i.e. he has to want to take our substandard offer. And this is why, Rich, I'm a firm believer he should have held out. He should have stayed away. And I think at some point he just needs to walk out. Even though there is significant risk, once you're away for 5 days, they can shut you down for the rest of the year. You play for no one and you don't get paid. They'd be beyond stupid to do that to one of their best players, perhaps their most talented player ever, as Jerry Jones said that same day. But I think this is just a manifestation of the Cowboys' habit of dragging their feet and lowballing the player and waiting until the last possible minute. And because he didn't hold out, as I told you last week, my prediction is he's going to end up playing for $24 million this year, and they're going to do it again next year when they apply the exclusive franchise tag to him. That they'll happily pay him $24 million this year, just like they happily paid him $3 million last year. That's the other side of this. If you're going to focus on counting the beans, you got Micah Parsons for 2 years at a combined salary of $27 million. That is a good deal if you're the Cowboys. Yeah, we're eventually going to have to pay him more, but we got him for 2 years at $27 million total, and we'll take it. I feel like at some level that is motivating them to kick this can as long as they can into the future.
We had Clarence Hill, who's been covering the Cowboys longer than anybody else for a beat writer, currently on the Cowboys beat, Mike, about the dance, if you will, that's been going on between the Cowboys, the Joneses, and Micah Parsons. He said that there was a handshake agreement between Jerry and Micah back in the spring, and Micah said, call my agent, and the Cowboys, the Joneses, have yet to do that. And I heard that comment, and I thought to myself that Micah's got to want to be paid, had to do with maybe, he shook a hand over it back in March. We're not calling his agent. He's got to want to be paid. That's the way I kind of took it. I guess there's many different ways one can take it.
Well, and the way that you took it, the only problem is it's a violation of the CBA. No deal is enforceable until it is reduced to writing and negotiated by the representative certified by the NFL Players Association. And if a player is represented by an agent, the commissioner is prohibited from approving any contract that has not been negotiated and signed by the agent. So whatever the Cowboys are trying to do, and yeah, they'd love to deal directly with the player, and they'd love to appeal, and they've tried this in the past. Don't demand top dollar from us. You'll make all sorts of extra money as a player on the Cowboys in endorsement deals. And you'll have a future in broadcasting as a former Cowboy. They tried that with Ezekiel Elliott. They tried it with Dak Prescott. And both of those guys said, no, we're not going to do that. We want what we are entitled to as football players. So handshake deals are worthless. They're not worth the paper they're not printed on. At some point, you've got to deal with the agent. And it's asinine for the Cowboys, for the Joneses, to think that, well, we had a handshake deal with Micah and he just needs to come sign it. They have to deal with his agent or there's nothing to sign.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.